And then we hear about oligarchy. And I like how these people have just basically, it seems, just learned the word oligarchy over the past few weeks. I've heard the word oligarchy more since this past January than I heard it over the past 20 years before that. And of course, the truth is that Trump is the least oligarchic president we've had in generations. I mean, maybe ever. He is much.
This is totally false, complete and utter verifiable lie. President Trump is backed by the uber wealthy, the few, the loud minority who want to control our politics, control our federal government. That's precisely what Elon Musk is doing. Vivek Ramaswamy, who is nearly a billionaire, would have been part of that. President Trump is the most oligarchic president in modern American history.
Much less a member of the oligarchy than Biden was, or Obama was, or Bush was for that matter. Oligarchy means, it literally means rule by a few, but it really means rule by the rich, rule by a collection of rich people. And now you could argue that by that definition, every country everywhere in history for all time has been ruled by the oligarchy in a literal sense. But as for the rich, Trump is despised by most of corporate America, most of the rich and powerful people, the people who are funding these protests, for example. Elon Musk is like the one exception. But you never hear these complaints about oligarchy when Democrat presidents are in the pocket of George Soros. You never hear it when big corporations help push the left-wing agenda. You never hear about the oligarchy in that case. And it's funny, too, because right now, you've got people who supposedly hate the oligarchy and supposedly hate rich people and supposedly hate corporate America. They were just cheering when a CEO was murdered in the street. And those same people are right now, today, freaking out because the stock market is taking a hit.
You absolute lying fascistic baboon. I'm sorry, but there's no other way to phrase it. When the stock market is doing well, it is primarily the wealthy who are doing well. When the stock market tanks, everyone is harmed by it. That's the way that it works. It is not two sides of the same coin. You should understand this. But, I mean, you barely understand economics. You just spend all your time screaming about the culture war. Oh, boy going into the girl's bathroom. You do not understand economics. You do not understand wealth. You do not understand the government or oligarchy. By the way, oligarchy was a term that I learned in middle school. It's a well-known term. People have been saying it long before Donald Trump came onto the political scene. Donald Trump did not, in fairness, introduce the problem of oligarchy into the United States. Donald Trump is a symptom of the problem of oligarchy in the United States. He is simultaneously a symptom and an enabler of oligarchy with the way that he's letting Elon Musk into the federal government, someone who wasn't even elected, letting him run things, letting him cut government programs that were democratically supported by the majority of Americans, going all the way back to 1935 with Social Security, 1965 with Medicare and Medicaid. I mean, it doesn't get more oligarchic than that, saying, screw the will of the people. I am entitled to cut waste, fraud, and abuse, even though I was not elected, and even though people voted for presidents and a Congress which enacted Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Me and my prerogatives are more important. My policy goals are more important. Government bad. And by the way, I wasn't even born in America. I just came here and I want to tell you guys how to run things. It's oligarchy, plain and simple. As for comparisons to Bush, Obama, and Biden, Trump is wealthier than all three of them. Matt Walsh admits oligarchy is rule by the rich. Trump is richer than all three of those presidents combined. Not just all three of them, but all three of them combined. And this man has the nerve to tell you that given that definition of oligarchy that he just laid out for you, Trump is the least oligarchic president in history, or less oligarchic than them, at least. He probably would say he's the least oligarchic in history. You know, he's that much of a Trump enabler, a Trump sycophant, an absolute baboon who understands nothing about government, economics, or history, but who understands how to push far-right propaganda into impressionable minds. And so people need to come to channels like the Morris the Merrier over here to get the truth. My goal is not to push left-wing propaganda, right-wing propaganda, centrist propaganda. My goal is to rebut the lies and the nonsense and the propaganda spewed by people who want to enable fascism, oligarchy, authoritarianism, you name it. People who work backwards from their conclusions like Matt Walsh. If Trump were a Democrat and nothing about him were changed, he would say that Donald Trump is the worst president in history. He would say he's an oligarch because he has a D next to his name. But because he has an R next to his name, he acts like, oh yeah, Trump's so cool. Trump is fighting the establishment. Trump is one of the least oligarchic presidents ever. It's all about political party, too, Matt Walsh. Well, it's not about it here. Like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I look forward to speaking to you in my next video.